Ya Rabb. Ya Rabb, Ya Rabb. Let us. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. So, Jazakallahu khairan, Akhi Muhammad. But one of the things that in Islam there is something called rahbaniyah. Rahbaniyah, this is in the other faith, but it's not in Islam. لا رهبانية في الإسلام. So if you choose not to get married, now you are following the Sunnah or you are violating the Sunnah? Answer. Violating the Sunnah. Why? Because you remember the story of the three people who came to the Prophet, and this is what one of them stay. The other one says, "I'm not going to get married." So what did the Prophet say to them? The Prophet ﷺ, I get married to women. In another occasion, the Prophet says, الزواج سنتي فمن رغب عن سنتي فليس مني. Zawaj is my sunnah. Don't say, no, I will focus on that and forget about it. Except Shaykh Islam Taymiyyah. But the scholars, when they ask him, why did you get married? He says, I got busy. Because he was focused on ilm. But again, we say that az-zawaj is the sunnah of the Prophet, and if you choose to live without a wife, or you choose to live without a husband, you are violating the sunnah of our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because he says az-zawaj is what is my way of life. So this is something very important. Umar ibn al-Khattab, he said this wonderful statement. He says that abstention from marriage is going to cause a lot of corruption in the society. And the Prophet says, تناكحوا تناسلوا تكثروا فإني مباهن بكم الأمم يوم القيامة. What does it mean? Get married, then you will give birth, you will get, you will be in large number, you will multiply in large number. The Prophet will be proud of us, in the day of judgment. So this is a command from our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And if you remember the last time for Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, he says, if I know that there are only 10 days left in my life, I will not meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, single without a wife. This is what our Salaf thought about marriage based on what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned, because Allah said to the Prophet, وَلَقَدْ أَرْسَلْنَا رُسُلًا مِّن قَبْلِكَ وَجَعَلْنَا لَهُمْ أَزْوَاجًا وَذُرِّيَّةً. Ya Muhammad, we sent messengers and prophets before you, and they didn't choose to be singles. No, Ya Muhammad, they followed the way of their ancestors, and they got married, and they have offspring. So this is the sunnah of our Prophet Muhammad sallam, and this is the sunnah of all prophets and messengers. Type. What makes people abstain from marriages, especially for the youth, for the young men? Mostly because of the exaggeration in the dowries. Some of the families, okay, you cannot get married to my daughter except if you pay, for example, 50K. If you pay 100K, wallahi, I did it, 100K in many occasions. I marry a lot of people. Subhanallah. And also I want to tell you this. Inshallah, we'll talk about the dower, and as-sadaq and al-mahr, inshallah, as one of the pillars of marriage. But, briefly, this money is the money of women. So this is her money. It's not for the father to say, oh, I paid a lot of money upon you, and now it's my right to get this money. No, we are not selling our daughters. This is the gift from the husband to whom? To the father of the wife or to the wife? To the father of the wife or to the wife? To the wife. So this is her money. If she donates this money later on, this is another issue. Okay? She can donate it. And I want to tell you a wonderful incident here for Ali ibn Abi Talib. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran that this money of women, in Surah An-Nisa, Allah says that this is Mubarak, blessed. So he used to, when he gets sick, he used to, ask his wife from her dower. And he used to also get honey. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says about honey, that's Mubarak, shifa. And also the money of women, which is her dowry, her sadaq, also is a blessed money. So that's why if he searches for shifa, he goes through these two things. But this is not again our topic, but inshallah we'll talk about this in details, inshallah, bismillah, when we come to it. But now, after this introduction now, I think, yeah, I think we should, we give the criteria for getting married, right? These things that should be, these requirements that should be met for the husband and for the wife. Do you remember them? We said righteousness is number one. And also from the things that we should consider when a male comes to a female is what we call it al-kafa'a, compatibility. Let me just get back to this. Righteousness, walud, wadud, virgin, this is, some of this is a must, and some of them for sure it is, preferable. And for man, we said attitude, behavior, which is the deen, and compatibility. So now, the sister who's from a high-class family shouldn't get married to a male who's from a low class. And this is, among women, this is very common that she will be scorned at. People will blame her for that. People will talk about this. But the opposite is okay. If you are a high-class man and you get married to a low-class woman, that's fine. But the opposite is a problem. The opposite is a problem and causes problem. That's why. But is it a must? No, it's not a must. The deen is number one. But we have seen in the story of Zainab bint Jahsh. Zainab bint Jahsh, she was from a decent family, the family of the Prophet Muhammad. And she got married to Zayd ibn Haritha. Zayd ibn Haritha was a mawla, was a slave. And after some time, they started to have the problems and started to have the fights. Why? Because they are from different social classes. So this is something that we should consider. But if they get married, we are not going to say haram. Because the most important thing is the deen. If they are Muslims, both, alhamdulillah, khalas. But this is something that we should consider. Now, let us go back to our main topic, the engagement. So engagement is a mutual promise of marriage in the future. The person proposes to the family, not to go to the sister and keep talking to her and then have a love story and then go to the family. No. You just, your mother can approach to the mother of the sister or whatever way, or if there is a decent way that we can reach to the sister and telling her that this person is trying to or wants to propose, are you okay with this? Or this person has these such type of descriptions, he has this and this and this, and he wants to get married through a sister, and then he goes to the family. Now, the father, if he agrees, and the girl, now it is an engagement. Now, he proposes, and he got the promise. So now, the frame of the engagement and the definition of it, that it is a promise of getting married in the future. So are there any legal responsibilities that the man who breaks off the engagement, he should be punished? He's committing a major sin. He gains the curse of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The girl who says after she's engaged that I don't like this man, is there any legal responsibilities and punishment on her? There are ethical. For sure, if you know for sure that this girl is not a suitable girl for you, or if you know that this man, is not a suitable man, and you say that I'm trying, and you play with the emotions of people, for sure, this is a different point. But legal responsibility. Are there any legal responsibility? No. Because it is what? A promise. That's why when you promise in the fundraising and say, okay, Saleh, I'm going to donate for EIA with $10,000. Now, Saleh doesn't have this money. Now, what shall we say now? Saleh, you have to know, you are committing a major sin. Khalas. Because he promised. But the question is, if he gives the money, he cannot get it back. If he gives the money, he cannot get it back. But if you promise, ethically, you should fulfill your promise. If you propose and get married and get the engagement, then you should fulfill ethically your engagement. But if you break it off, that's fine. No legal consequences on that, okay? It means that the engagement is a middle phase between choice and signing the contract. For sure, you choose based on the criteria that we said. And the Prophet says, فَاظْفَرْ بِذَاتِ الدِّينِ إِذَا جَاءَكُم مَّن تَرْضَوْنَ دِينَ. If someone proposes to you and you accept him. So this is the choice. And now we'll have marriage. The phase between is the engagement. Now, if the engagement is announced, Salih proposed to family, and they give, خلاص. What's your name, brother? Muhammad. Muhammad proposed to a family, and they give him the word. This is the no. Because if he proposes and someone proposes, is it haram? Sister, is it haram? I'm coming. But is it haram? We have two cases here. If he proposes and they give him the word, yes, khalas, we accept you as a suitor, as a fiancé. Here, Muhammad cannot just propose, because the Prophet says, لا يبيع المسلم على المسلم أخو المسلم المؤمن أخو المؤمن لا يبيع على بيعه. So now Salih and Muhammad, they are just, Salih sold his cell phone for $300. And then we have, what's your name? Kareem. Kareem says, Ya Salih, I'm going to give you 350. No, this is haram. Because now he gave him a promise that, okay, khalas, deal, done deal. Khalas, deal done. Khalas. But if someone proposes and the family is still thinking, sees the difference, they are still thinking, we do not give him a word. So now, can Muhammad proposes? Yes. Can Ahmad proposes? Yes. Can Kareem propose? That's fine. But once the family gives a word, khalas. Once you know that someone, proposes, you are not allowed to. But if you do it out of ignorance, you are forgiven. Khalas, alhamdulillah, you don't know. So this is the two cases. It's not like, if, they give a word, oh yes, khalas, alhamdulillah, we accept you. But we are still thinking, this is not a word. So now someone else can propose. And they choose, and there's no problem, because they didn't give a word. But if you give a word, here, this is haram now. Haram with the text and with the revelation now, with what the Prophet ﷺ says, it's haram. You cannot, propose while, the engagement is done already. Khalas? Engagement is that a man announces his desire to marry a certain woman. The girl is in a dire need to carefully choose her husband. The girl is obliged to obey her husband, and she has nothing in her hand to do so. She needs to concentrate in her choice more than the man. They always say men, they are like closed boxes. That's why the wali is there. The wali is the guardian. Because, what breaks iron and the steel? The steel. Nothing can break the steel except the steel, right? This is a proverb. لا يفتر الحديد إلا الحديد. So men understand men. That's why the wali, his job is to make sure that his daughter or his sister is getting married to a person who's a trustworthy. Subhanallah, because now she doesn't have the bond of divorce. Who has the bond of the divorce? The male or the female? Can the female say, now I divorce you? No. And you know what we have in the movies, especially the Egyptian movies? Oh, al-isma, the bond of divorce is in my hand. This is nonsense. This is not in Islam. Nothing's like this. Al-isma in my hand. I will get married to you, but now I'm the one who has the right to divorce you. This is nonsense. This is not right. But the husband, after he gets married, he can tell his wife, I will give you the authority of the divorce in a gathering for a short time. But to have it from the very beginning in the marriage, that the wife has the authority to divorce herself at any time, this is not from the deen. This is very weak and abnormal opinion. So what is the definition of engagement now? A promise, a mutual promise. And once it's announced, khalas. Now there is haram for any person to proposes. Women should choose carefully, and their wali should choose carefully, because she cannot divorce herself. There is another issue, which is al-khul. We'll talk about this when it's time, inshallah. Any questions about this? Because the definition is really important. We have very important things. Shariah, Muhammad. No, no. But we shouldn't prolong it. We shouldn't prolong it because of what's coming now. Okay, assistant. Yes, it should be announced, because the problem is, if it's not announced, who knows about it? That's why by this, but again, sometimes we think that announcement means that we should tell everyone in town. No, it's just, people should know the surroundings, but it does mean that everyone should know. Okay, so just announce that we accepted this man as a husband to. Here is the point. The ring. We have, no, it's a very important question. No, a very important question. The ring is a common practice, especially in some countries, to announce that the lady is engaged. Is the male, the suitor, allowed to touch and just put it on in the finger? No, he shouldn't touch her. And in some countries, the mother or the sister of the suitor, she does this, okay? But is it allowed or not? Because some people say that this is a common practice for the non-Muslims, and it has a ritual. It has a religious ritual and connotation. So they understood it this way. So that's why it is like the neckties. Okay, so this is a practice in the past was done by rituals from other religions, from other faiths. So we shouldn't allow this. But some of the rituals, they became widespread to the extent that no one does this is for that purpose. It was, it started like this, but now it's a common practice, and it has nothing to do, even among non-Muslims. Do they mean anything by the engagement ring now? Nothing. So khalas. Based on this is okay. But sometimes you need to be out of all disagreements. If you get out of all these disagreements, this will be better. But for those who wear the ring, I cannot tell them, oh, you are using one of the rituals of the other faith, and this is related to none, because now this is a common practice for people to use, and no one uses it for any ritual. It turns. The same for the neckties. Yes, in the past it has a connotation, but now everyone uses it. Use it for religious. None of the people use it for this reason. لا خلاص, anything يا صالح, anything for knowing in the urf, anything known in the urf that this is a type of advertisement, خلاص, or just a posting, خلاص. Yeah, if this is announced, this is a type of announcement, خلاص. Whether it's ring, whether it's a party, but again, it shouldn't be for everyone that we should cost ourselves a lot of money. No, it's not this way. Okay? طيب بسم الله. ما هو, we'll talk about this. This is coming. Don't worry. طيب. Whom we should be engaged to? Firstly, to have nothing of the person who have no legal detention. يعني now I'm getting married to a girl, and the man is getting married to a female. So the engagement now should be for the people who are allowed to get married to each other, the people who do not have any detention, nothing that prevents them from getting married to. So, for example, there is my sister, what they call it, foster sister. I'm allowed to get married to a foster sister? the one that we breastfeed together. No. So this is a detention now. This is actually, it's not a detention. I think the transition is, but a prevention. A prevention. So the woman should be halal for you, and the man should be halal for you before the engagement. Otherwise, it's not going to work out. Or the woman is married. I got engaged to a sister who's married. So this is a prevention. This is something that makes the marriage invalid, the engagement invalid, because she's already married. So there should be no legal prevention, no legal detention, no legal excuse. Okay? This is number one. Number two, that no one is engaged to her legally before him. But if they broke it off, khalas, that's fine. If the man doesn't know and he proposed, that's fine. If they do not give, as I said, if they do not give yes, clear yes, let us think. Now, how dare you propose? That's fine. It is his right to propose, because they didn't give a final answer. Okay? And thirdly, the engagement to woman doesn't occur during her iddah. You know the iddah? And what types of iddah we have? Two. Iddah for the death of the person, and iddah from divorce. And iddah from divorce also is of two types. عدة from revocable divorce and عدة from irrevocable divorce. معايا ولا تهتوا؟ طب فاهمة يا أختي؟ قولي لنا طيب ها؟ Yes. عدة, because here is the point. If the husband divorces his wife for the first time, she's legally his wife. You know this or not? People sometimes they do not know this. She's legally his wife. What does it mean, Ya Saleh? It means, Ya Kareem, that if she dies, he inherits from her. And if he dies, she inherits from him. So the bond of marriage is still there during the iddah time. But there is a iddah that is not revocable, like after the third person, like the iddah from khul'. If the wife is the one who chose to return the mahr back. If there is talaq for a darar. So this is khalas. No. The bond of marriage is not there. After what? Yeah. Now, after the end of her third monthly menstruation, now khalas. She is a stranger from him. They cannot live under one roof. But they can remarry to each other. So if a person divorces his wife, and he waited, and he did return her for 3 monthly cycles. And now, khalas, it's over now. Now she's a stranger for him, and he's a stranger for her. But if he wants, and she wants to return to him, now this is a new marriage. And I do this sometimes, and you know who's the wali? Sometimes the wali is the son. Oh, wallahi, one time I married, and the son, one of the son was the wali for the mother, and the other son was a witness, and I was a witness with him. But in this case, they are allowed to get married to each other. But it's a new marriage. A new marriage means with the wali, with mahr, with everything. But if it's the third divorce, no. As we know, there should be like, there should be a new husband and an actual marriage. So those are the three preventions for marriages, that they should be legal to each other. No excuse, like if they are married or they are foster brother and sister, that she's not engaged before, that the woman shouldn't have her engagement during her iddah. You want to talk about this, but I don't like to take much time because I want to talk about proposing to women during iddah. We have this in the Quran, in Surah Al-Baqarah. ولا جناح عليكم فيما عرضتم به من خطبة النساء. So here for the divorced one, عرضتم به. How to express any opinion يا كريم. If you need this bottle, one way to express is to say what? Sheikh, I need the bottle of water. صح? What's your name, sister? Yara. Yara wants my water. So we say, Sheikh, I need the water. This is an explicit way. The other way, Yara says, Sheikh, man, you are always come late. We're going to charge you. Yalla, yalla, come, I'm waiting. So another way is, Sheikh, I'm thirsty. I need water. I'm thirsty. I think that I'm dehydrated. Subhanallah. So this is an implicit way. So here, for the engagement during iddah, the person can use the implicit way. This is what the Quran says. Who did this? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He said to a woman who lost her husband, لا تسبقيني بنفسك. Do not come to me and tell me someone proposed to me. And the Prophet Salama, he got married to her. The Prophet said to her, I'm Rasulullah. I'm Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose me to deliver my message. So, but to say to a woman, okay, I will get engaged to you, I will propose to you after iddah. No. But the implicit way is allowed. This is what Quran mentioned. Huh. It shouldn't be said that I will propose to you. But the Prophet said to women, do not come to me after something and tell me that someone is proposing to me. Yeah, things like this. Sister, mashallah, inshallah, you will find a good husband, inshallah, bi'Iznillah. And alhamdulillah, I'm searching for like an implicit way. Okay? And I don't mind if I get married to a widow or something like this. Khalas? But don't say, I will propose to you after, wait for me. This is not right. Yeah. Bismillah. Is there any obligation in the engagement of the suitor? No, in the suitor. Type. Is it possible to look at the proposed girl? Here is the point. We have different opinions among scholars. Some of them said, and the majority says, you look at the face and the hands. Because those are the things that you should look at, because this is the awrah. The Hanbali school, which a very considerable opinion, they said that the person can look at more than this. Look at what appears to the mahram. So now, for the mahram, do we say to the sister, the face only her father and her brother? We say to only, no. She should, for sure cover, the awrah, but she can, show her sleeves, her hair, her neck, her legs, that's fine. She can wear, not normal clothes, not that very tight. So here, this is the opinion, and this is what happened to Jabir ibn Abdullah when the Prophet says, look carefully at women, and he used to hide and to look at it. Some other extreme opinion says, two extreme opinions, that you should look at her and she should cover. There is no dalil in this. And the other who says, you should look even at the awrah. Those are two extremes that are not allowed by any means. But the two allowed opinions, to look at the face and hands. And this, something that everyone does. And the other opinion, and now this is not encouraged, because people in the past, they have deen. But wal-'iyadu billah, you do not trust people now. Someone can look at your daughter, your sister, and he can go out and describe her. Sometimes people do not have muru'ah. They do not have this type of akhlaq. But in the past, they couldn't do this. They had akhlaq. But still, it's up to the wali. I will let you allow to look at my daughter while she's wearing, skirt, while she's wearing half sleeves, while she's with her hair, But women shouldn't hide anything. Yeah, no. She just, she has some problem in her face. No, she should, she shouldn't hide anything. Changes her skin to be white. She's not white. No, cheating here is haram for male and for female. Okay. Is it permitted to sit with the fiancé alone? Here is one of the main mistakes. This is haram because the fiancé is what? The suitor is what? Is a strange person who just gave a promise. So it doesn't mean that they go out together, that they hang out together, that they speak in the phone for hours and hours, that they live a love story. No. But if there are mahram around, if you want to know about the would-be husband, the would-be wife, in the presence of the family, you talk, you ask questions, you try to know to understand the person whom you are getting married to. That's fine. But to be in privacy as you are married, this is haram. This is not allowed because the suitor is a stranger, the fiancé is a stranger for you. There is no religious connection yet. This is very, very important. Unfortunately, some of the cultures, once the person proposes, khalas, he's from Ahlul Bayt. Now, khalas, he goes out alone with the girl. No, this is not allowed. But do we close the door in front of him? No, you are not allowed to see her again or not to talk to each other. No, talk to each other, but you are strangers to each other. You are like any other person. But we give you a promise. So this is a very, very common mistake. I know not many people are practicing, but this is the thing. So what the suitor should look at now, we have two opinions. The majority discussed what? The hands and the face. And the Hanbali school, which is a very considerable opinion, they considered hadith came from the Prophet about Jabir ibn Abdullah. When he wanted to get married, the Prophet told him to look carefully, and he hid it from him, and he looked at her, and he liked her, and he got married to her, to look at what appears to the maharim. And the wali here, the father of the sister, can choose this opinion and can allow the fiancé to look at, his daughter while she's, using, makeup, wearing makeup, while she's wearing, a skirt and half sleeves, and her hair is exposed and her neck is exposed. There is nothing. But the person shouldn't, stay for hours looking at this, or every time he comes to see the sister, he want to look at her like this. No, this is not right. This is not right. Okay? But being alone is haram. But talking and knowing about each other, that's fine in the presence of the family, but not to live a love story while we are not mahram to each other. Returning the dowry back. Sometimes in some cultures, they paid the mahr during the time of engagement. Now, the engagement is broken off. Now, the dowry is the right of the wife or the right of the husband, the suitor or the fiancé. The dowry, I'm talking about the dowry, the mahr. The suitor, and no disagreement in this. Because we have two things. We have gifts and we have dowry. The dowry is only when they have the marriage contract. So here we can talk about it. Inshallah, we'll talk about this. But the gift is something else. So the dowry, if it's just engagement, the dowry is his. No matter who broke it off. No matter, it doesn't matter. But the question is about gifts now. The husband, the suitor, he brought gifts. Now, what will be the case of returning these? I think that's all. Okay. So now, what is returning the dowry back and the like? The like here, which means the gifts. So now, the gifts now, it's a matter of disagreement among the scholars in case of break off. So he brought, the suitor brought like a ring. He brought, he gave the wife money. He used to, bring some desserts. He used to bring, some of the dresses, shoes, whatever. Now iPhones, they don't have this in the past, but now one of the things that every suitor should give to his wife, this cell phone. So now some of the scholars like Imam Abu Hanifa, I'm just telling you the opinions, and then I will choose for you the strongest opinion. So Imam Abu Hanifa says he has to return everything, except the ones that are damaged. Like someone brought orange. You know, I brought orange for you. No, no, don't bring it. Some Imam, they says, I think, Wallah, Imam Shafi, this is, they should even estimate it for him and give it back to him. They know you brought orange with such amount of money, take it back. Then. But the two strongest opinion are for Al-Imam Malik and for Imam Ahmad. They said we should differentiate between who broke it off. If the husband is the one who broke it off, then he's the one who should leave the gifts. He shouldn't ask for them because he's the one who broke it off. If the girl is the one who broke it off for her family, now in this case, they know that they should return everything to him. This is the opinion of Imam Malik and Imam Abu Hanifa and the Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. And this is, I think, a middle opinion and a fair opinion. With or without what? خلاص ما خلاص بقى سبحان الله, you are highly recommended not to accept this. Why? Because we have a hadith that we should return back in our gifts, right? We should return back in our gifts. This is the general ruling. But in case the husband now or the suitor now wants to accept it, so خلاص, yeah, they should offer this. But if he says no, خلاص, هنيئا مريئا, خلاص. But in case there is like they want to decide and they don't come to an agreement. So this is the first considerable opinion in this case. Okay? Right. The second considerable opinion. Focus, Ya Salih, because you will talk about this after Salah. You need to focus, inshallah. Or Muhammad will talk. خلاص Muhammad, خلاص. So now, the second opinion is, which is attributed to Shaykh Islam Taymiyyah, and also it makes sense, that most of the gifts, they are given by the husband for what? For a reason. He give if I give a Salih a gift, khalas, it's for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal, because I love Salih. So there is a brotherhood here. But the male does not give a female a gift except for what? He wants her to to have more love to him. So there is a reason beyond. So now this reason is removed by the end of this engagement. So because of this, they call it al-hadiyatul mashruta. It's a conditional gift. So because of this, Shaykh Islam Taymiyyah says that because of this reason, the gifts should return to the suitor, whether he's the one who broke it off or the wife broke it off, because there is a conditional here, an implicit reason for the gift, because he gives it because he wants more emotions to be added to his connection with her. So that's why he did it, because of this. This is Shaykh Islam Taymiyyah. But the other opinion, which I really like, the opinion of Imam Malik and Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, that they differentiated between the one who breaks off. If the suitor is the one who breaks it off, then he should leave the gifts. Except if the family insists of the wife and of the fiancé and they give it to him. But if the family of the wife, of the fiancé or the would-be wife are the ones who said no, we are not continuing in this marriage. So in this case, the female should return the gifts to the husband. This is, I think, a fair opinion. So those are the things that we tackle today. Whom we should marry. Focus, Ya Muhammad. Whom we should get married to, and whom should, the preventions of the condition for the engagement, that the husband and wife should be legal to each other. They are not foster, brother and sister. The sister is not married. That there is no engagement that was announced before. Because if the engagement and no one announced it and you propose, khalas, you didn't commit a sin. And thirdly, the engagement woman shouldn't occur at her iddah. And you can say that there are two iddah from divorce and iddah from death. And the iddah of divorce is 3 months, and the iddah of of the death of the husband is 4 months and 10 days. Okay, and then we said and we tackled the definition of engagement, which is just a promise of marriage, and is it becomes effective after the family of the girl accepts and says yes. Okay, the family can receive many proposals and no problem. Okay, and we mentioned that no legal obligation from the side of the husband or this in case of the break up, but there are ethical, for sure obligation. As it comes to look at the proposed girl, we have 3 opinions. Extreme opinion, to look at the aura and not to look at. This is extreme opinion that have no dalils, but some cultures do this. Some cultures do this. In Egypt, they used to do this. You do not look at it. You will get married to the lady in the past without looking at her. This is not allowed. And to look at the face and the hands, this is the opinion of the majority of the scholar, but a very strong opinion for Imam Ahmed bin Hanbal that you look at, what the maharim can see, and they quoted the hadith of Jabir ibn Abdullah. Is it permissible to sit with the fiancé alone? For sure, this is with the agreement. This is haram. This is the door of the shaitan. No one allowed this, but some bad cultures, they allow this. This is haram, but at the same time, we can allow them to talk to each other in the presence of maharim, to know each other, because engagement is, a middle phase. And then we talked about returning the dowry. If the dowry is paid during the engagement, there is no disagreement. It has to be returned. There is no doubt in this. But talking about gifts, we mentioned different opinions, but the stronger opinion is that who broke it off. But some of the imam, they says that most of the gifts, they are because of emotional reasons, so that's why they have to return. Jazakum Allah khair. This is our, alhamdulillah, halaqa today. Inshallah, bismillah, wait for the salah. And that's it, inshallah. جزاكم الله خيرا سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. جزاكم الله خيرا. This topic is a very important topic. I think this is the most important topic, inshallah, بإذن الله.